Y'all here back in Cool. We in here. I want to let you guys in on a little secret. I got a stationary bike up here. Ready. That's the bathroom. I got one of them fancy trash cans in there. You know what I'm saying? Little stationary, but it's actually one I got for my wife. The one I have downstairs is designed a little bit different. Keep it up here too, because when it's time to get that cardio going, we going to get the cardio going. Right? Let me set this up somewhere. But I don't want to talk to y'all about cardio right now. I'm going to talk to y'all about a basic principle that a lot of people really lose. Yes, I have other footage coming up. What I'm going to do with the training footage is I'm going to upload it, but I'm going to use that just as background footage from now on, at least for a while, to talk about various topics. This is not one of those videos. There's no training footage. But it's about nutrition. Generally about nutrition, because so many people have questions. So many people want to know, okay, so why is it that I go to this source, that source, or this source, and they tell me something different? They always have some different kind of information. They always give me contradictory advice. And man, this color is a little bit. I actually have two of these shirts. This is the night version of the shirt, which is just an older one that I had that I work out in sometimes and I go to sleep in. And the other ones, so if you're wondering why the color's so jacked up, that's because it's a different shirt. I have two. But back on track. Here's why. It's because people have different reasons why they even got into this. People have different nutrition goals. So if you're trying to be the biggest, leanest, hardest bodybuilder you want to be, that's going to be completely different than like you trying to live to see 150, right? Because one's centered around growth, hitting those growth pathways, hitting that mTOR as many times a day as you can. At the same time, getting in that lean food, right? Jacking the protein up, trying to keep carbohydrates high enough to sustain training, but not too high that you're putting on weight. Getting that, all that. This isn't meant to be extensive. On the longevity side, it's different, right? You're not trying to hit those growth pathways, because if you're constantly triggering them, it's going to cause you to age faster. If there's cancer in the body, it could make it a little bit easier for it to grow. Things like this, right? You're not trying to be super jacked, super big, super hard, super lean, right? And you're going to probably be on more of a plant-based diet, which a plant-based diet is hard to get the elevated amounts of protein that you would need and keep the carbohydrates low enough to actually be, like, I'm not saying lean like, oh, you got abs. I mean lean like I can see your vascular system and all your muscle fibers when you move, like shredded, right? You're not going to do that because you just can't. And guess what? If you're somebody who's trying to maximize your life, you really don't want to get that lean. It's not healthy. So those are already two different things. And then you may just be somebody who's trying to maximize athletic performance. Well, like actual like running, jumping. You don't care about being big, hard, jacked, and lean, but you're also not going to be like, oh, my longevity, I want to live it. No, you're about your performance. That's going to impact how your diet works too. That's going to impact how your nutrition strategy is set up. So if you're going to be even different positions playing football, the diet's going to be a little bit different because they have different goals, needs, different requirements for that in the same sport. So if you go to somebody who is real good, right, with that demographic, they may not be the best to tell you how to be the best bodybuilder you can be. They may not be the best to tell you how to live to be 150 years old. So you have to know your goal. You have to define your goal. Now, if your goal is just weight loss or something like that, it's a little bit different, but you still need to define it. What do you want to do? What do you want your life to look like? And then find people who specialize in that, or people who have the skill set to help you get there. So it's very important to know what you want to do, because if you're somebody who's like, I want to build muscle as possible. I want to be huge, big, and jacked. Okay, you're probably not going to go to your local vegan specialist, herbalist, right? Because that's not their skill set, their studies, their research is not in that area. It's in this area. And if you want to live to be 150 years old, you're not going to go to bodybuilders, right? And say, hey, I want to be 150 years old. They might get you to 80, 90, maybe mess around and get you to 100 because, I mean, they do know nutrition, but their research, their know-how, their expertise in the nutritionists that really work with that demographic aren't focused on that. They're not focused on the intricacies and all the little things that will help you live to be 150 years old because their goals are different. Their client set is different. And that's why you have so many different contradicting experts that all claim and get results because at the end of the day, they're working with people who have different goals. They have different goals. They have different specializations. And when it comes to nutrition, your nutrition has to fit your goal. Okay? It has to fit your goal. Because I'll tell you this right now. If I go to somebody whose whole deal is longevity and I'm trying to be like a top NFL lineman, they're going to fail miserably at that. But because that's not what they're set up to do. And if you're just like some average American who's just trying to live longer for your and just see your grandkids and all that, and your great grandkids, then that's going to look a lot different. And when you're doing your research, this is the last point. You need to remember that genetics come into play. So eggs is a constant one that comes up. Are eggs good or eggs bad? If your genetic predisposition is one in which your body just stores and goes crazy with cholesterol, which is like 40% of the population, okay, eggs are probably very bad for you. But in that other 60% of the population, dietary cholesterol really doesn't bother them at all because they don't store it. You're not supposed to store it, really. Your body's supposed to make the cholesterol. Dietary cholesterol is supposed to get used for other things. But also, what would help with that? Making sure your fiber content is up, right? So now, if you're trying to combat your cholesterol issues, make sure your fiber is right because one of the things fiber does is bind to extra cholesterol and take it out of the body. So again, what is your goals? What are you looking to do? And then know your family history. If you don't know your biological family or there's a parent that's absent and you don't have access to that information, there's many tests that you can do if you feel comfortable doing that to get a read on your genetics. But it's very important to know so that even as you evolve, even if you're an athlete and you transition through different phases of life and your nutrition adapts and evolves as you get older and as you move through different phases and have different goals, you need to know these different things. So get that family history. If you need to, even get a test. They can test your DNA now. 23andMe can get a lot of stuff. Find somebody who knows how to read and interpret it and put together a plan based on that. And that's about it. That's as general as I'm going to get with this video. I'm going to be putting out videos all year. This year I really want to focus on just helping people with their nutrition. The channel really hasn't been about that. It's been more about kind of following my own journey. But I know there's a need there. And also, if you want to, hire me for anything, it's going to be in the description. The way to contact me, my email address, and yeah, how you want to act.